Yo, what's good, brother? What's good, everyone? I'm gonna go ahead and get the call started. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this call going, just for everyone that is already here. And yeah, I mean, I was definitely a little bit late for sure. Definitely a little bit late today. So, well, let's just go ahead and get this started. Okay. Say 1 second. All right. So, all right, guys. We have hit our weekly objective on DXY. Okay. And I believe Jolt's job openings hit this weekly objective. But I'm gonna go ahead and mark this out real quick. So whenever my weekly objective gets hit, oh, give me 1 second. Let me turn on the music. There we are. Okay. All right. So whenever a weekly objective does get hit, I want to take note of that. Okay. And you want to take note as to when it happened. So this happened on Tuesday. Tuesday weekly objective hit. And you want to put that markup just so you are aware of it. You know, I tend to notice that every time my weekly objective gets hit between Monday to Wednesday, it usually tends to mean a reversal for the week. Okay, so something that I would have never noticed if I didn't collect this information is if when that happens. So that's one thing I've learned so far about my weekly objectives is when it's hit Monday through Wednesday, it tends to be the point of reversal for price. I'm not saying that we're going to get that reversal today, but if you're looking at it here, if I am to set another weekly objective, look guys, I do believe that if we do reject, the lowest point is going to be that previous high, that opening gap. I'm going to put that opening gap as it 105,900. Okay, 105,900 level around there. If we do get a rejection, I can see price going that low. But if you go over here on a daily perspective, okay, if you take it down to a daily perspective and just look here, it doesn't really look that bearish. Okay, it doesn't look that bearish in terms of the daily. All right, so first we need to identify our daily range. Then we're gonna take out all this extra stuff. Okay, and we're gonna leave that one just in case. It's a major high, it's a weekly high. I tend to leave those just in case we use it as support or resistance. We got a gap here. Nope, no we don't. Let's see. Alright, we just tapped into 50% of this range. Honestly, the only internal liquidity that I see throughout this whole thing is either this next low or the low that we're creating today. Okay, the low that we're creating today. So for now, I'm gonna leave it as is. I do want to see what price action does throughout all of these insufficiencies. I'm gonna mark that one out. And really, I just want to see price action either create a low today around this price level or move towards internal liquidity. Either create the liquidity or move towards the liquidity. Okay, let's go and revise Forex Factory real quick. It is Wednesday. PMI today. PMI, cool. PMI at 10. Yep, PMI at 10 a.m. So I'm gonna be waiting for 10 a.m. today for sure. So I guess it doesn't really matter that we were a little late today to the call. It does matter. Everything matters. But it's not the end of the world. I was really beating myself up over it. I'm super exhausted. Sorry about that. You know, for the person asking how I'm doing, I don't know why, but my hand fucking hurts today. It's not even like my hand itself, it's my wrist. You know, since I fell, my wrist has been killing me. It's like I constantly need to massage it or like put pressure on it, if that makes sense. Give me one sec. All right. Yeah, I remain bullish on terms of the weekly. If anything, I want to see price action get back into the same weekly objective. So I am gonna pick another weekly. I would love to see. Here's where I'm at. I remain bullish, so actually I want to say the same objective for me is going to be the same one that I'm aiming for a second time. Same objective. I do think that we're going to play around here and we're not just going to go right back up there. This is a range that's missing liquidity. It's got liquidity, but we're far away from it, and it's currently missing liquidity to move higher. So I'm going to say the same weekly objective. So I'm going to look at 107, 260 or 270. Okay. Give me one sec. Let me add this to my journal real quick. Alright. Hope you guys are journaling. There's quite a bit of news this week, so this week is one you don't want to miss, the journaling. Okay? This week you don't want to miss all that journaling. Okay, so in terms of the daily, as of today, for the day, I guess for the weekly, I'm going to put the weekly again. Okay? Yeah, same long objective. I'm going to be putting that. Oh shit. 1 second. Yep, same long objective. And then we're going to fill up Tuesday. Okay. We're going to fill up Tuesday's, yesterday's price action. And then for today, in terms of a daily objective. In terms of a daily objective, it's going to be pretty tough because we have already made quite a substantial range right now. But my eyes really get attracted towards that same imbalance that we were trading at yesterday and respecting towards that upside. Really, my eyes go towards that imbalance. I want to see price action get back in there and then continue to distribute from that area. So I'm just looking for more distribution out of here. So that's going to be my screenshot for the daily on Wednesday's daily objective for DXY. Okay. Yo, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Juan. Alexis, happy to see you, brother. Happy to see you. My bro's out traveling. Solomon, yep, I'm doing good, bro. Thank you. Did I do any checkup? Yes, I did do a checkup, and they told me that it was fine. That if it continued to hurt, that I needed to go get checked out. But a doctor just told me that if it continues to hurt, it could be early signs of carpal tunnel, and I'm just like, you know, he's like, it could be completely different from you know, my injury from 2 weeks ago from falling off the scooter. He's like, it could be completely unrelated to that. You could just have that pain. So yeah, no, but I do feel a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better every day. Feeling a lot better today. I don't think the pain comes from the injury itself. It's just like the aftermath, the bruising and all that. So I am feeling a lot better. I appreciate that, guys. And I appreciate you guys bearing with me. If I ever sit still, just know I'm like grabbing my fucking arm and I'm massaging it out for a second, okay? So bear with me. I'm not gonna stop the streaming just for a little bit of a hand pain. I'm gonna continue streaming with you guys, so no worries on that. Let's go to indices. All right, indices is gonna look a little bit crazy with all this shit on it, so we're gonna take a bunch of stuff off right now. 1 second. All right, there's a bunch of stuff here that honestly we're probably not going to be visiting. So Nasdaq has actually surprised me the way that it's continued to move down, continuously moved lower. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to leave that one, not this one, but I'm going to leave the weekly, the current weekly one. And that's about it. That's really all I'm looking at in terms of Nasdaq. Yeah, so in terms of Nasdaq, for those of you who haven't been with me, those of you who are new, this is my weekly range, okay? And for the weekly, personally, I'm not going to look at anything else other than this current trading range that we're in. And I'm only going to focus on the lower end, given that price action is pretty low already and it's very deep into discount price action. So I'm going to leave that there. We're going to go to the daily. And do you guys remember what our weekly objective was on Nasdaq? It was that previous weekly high, but I'm starting to realize that I was totally on the wrong end of that. I mean, potentially. Okay, but I'm gonna leave my weekly objective, and I'd rather just get it wrong. Either just get it wrong, right, or it hits. But I'm starting to think that we're probably not gonna make it back up there into that imbalance just yet. It may be something for the future. Okay, so I guess I should reassess for Nasdaq. Let's see. We'll get back to that weekly objective on Nasdaq. We'll continue on the daily. On a daily range, I mean, I was pretty bullish up until we got this big drop yesterday. I was definitely on the opposing end yesterday, trying to pick up that fallen knife. And at the end of the day yesterday, and by the way, I know it's the open, but I'm going to let it be because we're going to just trade at the 10 a.m. I'm not really looking to trade at the 9:30 open. So in terms of Nasdaq, I mean, I was looking at this bullish structure, but then yesterday ended up dumping. Okay, so as we were falling, though, I realized, hey, like, you're either going to join the ride or you're going to take that one loss yesterday. And so yesterday, while I was trading afternoon session, what time is afternoon session? It is at 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, that hour and a half is called the afternoon session. Okay, so I was trading the afternoon session. You guys can see here this nice 1 hour, this 1 hour imbalance here. Okay, we got this 1 hour imbalance, and then so if you drop down to the 15-minute, I really love the way that this price looks, so I'm gonna take it back a little bit. Okay, we had that 1 hour imbalance here on the right. You guys can see it a lot better. That's the 1 hour. And here on the left, you guys have the 15-minute. Okay, and you guys can see there was a 15-minute order block. I don't take too many of these. Okay, you got that 15-minute order block. Okay, and then you have something that's called the lunch hour. Okay, and the lunch hour is from 12. Yeah, it's from 12 to 1. And so here you guys can see how that 12 to 1 hour is just lunch, right? And so a lot of liquidity is going to get built up there. So you guys can see this right here. Look, all of that right there that I just highlighted, all of those 4 candles there is that lunch hour. And you guys can see how 1 p.m. We turn the hour. We sweep that previous lunch hour. Give me one sec. You guys can see how that previous lunch hour, okay, that previous lunch hour, that white up push candle, that's the lunch hour here on the hourly. And you guys can see a lot more in detail here. And this is our liquidity basically. So you can count that as the liquidity right there when we swept that high. And so I took it like this. Stop loss above that 15-minute OB. And I was just aiming for that low. This is a trade that I took yesterday. Very low risk. I only risked $500 on this one, so I got 2K back. I did hold it full volume. It was a little over 2K. I did secure partials as well. So I ended up almost a little bit over break even yesterday. Just like not even 1% yesterday in profit. So basically break even yesterday. But it was due to this trade. This trade was the one that gave it to me. So yesterday I was looking for longs. I got stopped out, and that taught me a lot. You know, when I get stopped out, I like to reanalyze, reassess, and see how I can come back moving forward to avoid the same mistakes. And what I've noticed is that I like to buy, and whenever there's liquidity on both sides, like there was yesterday, before we started selling, okay, we had Nasdaq. If you look at over here, before we started really selling off, okay, we had previous daily lows, equal lows back here, relative low over here, another relative low over here, you know. So when we had all of these lows and all of the liquidity up there, I tend to note what I notice is that I tend to go for the upside liquidity when there's liquidity built up on both ends, right? When there is liquidity built up on both ends, I noticed that my eyes automatically go for longs. So that wasn't the case this time, of course. Yesterday we went super short, and so I initially missed a really nice clean shorts. I know someone on here called them out as well, so shout out to you. I think it was like Hundun, something like that. I sorry if I mess up your YouTube name. Some of your guys' YouTube names is interesting, but I think it was him. He was mentioning these shorts from the 4-hour down, and I mean they played out to the T. Really beautiful. Took out all those previous daily lows. So shout out to you, bro. Hopefully that you did partake in that. We didn't take out the entirety of the range. We just barely dismissed the low. That type of play can be expected. Can be expected because of the news that is coming up this week. You got PMI today, and then you got, I believe there's news tomorrow as well. Yeah, you got PMI today, unemployment claims tomorrow, and then NFP on Friday. So you're just got a week full of events. Okay, we got a week full of events. So I'm gonna take this out. We don't that stuff don't matter anymore. We already took that trade. Took this one. Cool. Started really trading to the upside around the opening. Well, before the opening, you guys can see how this bullish order flow just kept walking itself up. 15-minute imbalance, really easy long right there, and it just continues. I'm guessing we're gonna go to 50% of that range, 50% of this daily range and higher. If we end up shorting for the day, I'd like to see us short from higher. Okay, but if I'm looking at the 4-hour here, or if we're looking at the daily, actually, we can get a retracement back into this new week opening gap. And personally, I would like to see that, is us trading back into that new week opening gap. So in terms of objectives for NASDAQ today, to me, it's that new week opening gap. That gap that was created between Friday's closure and Sunday's open. Okay, and then potentially we'll go from there, right? But right now, that's what I'm aiming for, is that that blue shaded box, our magic blue box right here. Okay. And I did delete a lot of stuff off my chart just for you guys, so it looks nice, clean, and it's easy to follow. All right. Cool. Let's go to Dow. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, Dow. Yeah, unlike Nasdaq, Dow hit our weekly objective as well. Something I need to take note of. Our weekly objective was 33,545. 33. I mean, we fucking wrecked right through that, all of that. So whatever our weekly objective was, we definitely traded right beyond all of that. Hold on. 33,545. Give me a second. I need to see this. What was that previous weekly low, and then it was that one over there. I mean, we hit my second weekly objective very easily. Yeah, my second weekly objective was 33,290, and I mean, we wrecked right through that. Major liquidity has been hit on both Dow and DXY. We've hit all that internal liquidity on on Dow. Give me 1 sec. Let me go ahead and put this, journal this shit. Journal this real quick. Okay, so we're looking at potentially setting up a new weekly objective. We'll see what we end up setting about. Yesterday we were aiming for that previous daily low. We smacked it. Nasdaq too, we were aiming for that previous daily low. We smacked it, and we were aiming for these lows. I don't know why the hell we didn't just short Dow and S&P. I was so fixated on Nasdaq, but the objectives were clear. We had all these objectives. We smacked all of our objectives yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and call that a win. Let's see, Tuesday, journal that. Okay, on the 4-hour, price action is attempting to walk itself up. Notice how we're hitting that same weekly objective. We're kind of using that as a level of resistance. We're rejecting away from that. Also, I want you guys to notice how price isn't exploding to the upside like it is on Nasdaq. There's still a lot of weakness in the market, but I do potentially see us traveling back up to that blue shaded area as well. So I want to see shorts though. I want to see continuation on shorts, but I would say that currently that blue shaded area up here looks very probable before we look at anything else. If I am shorting, I want to short it a little bit higher. Okay. Okay, give me 1 sec. Just filling out the journal. Okay. On the 1 hour, price action's just walking itself up. Higher high, higher low, higher high. We could potentially be brought down here for news. That is a 1 hour breaker right there that I want to take acknowledgement of. Maybe the longs will come from here to there. I'm thinking longs for today, even though mainly bearish. I'm thinking we can take some lower risk longs out of here. But overall, I want to short out of this area right here. So if the longs don't present themselves, I'm not gonna be upset. I mean, honestly, we can definitely short from here. So we'll let price action do what it needs to do in this area, and then we'll wait for this area and put an alert there so that way we don't miss it. Okay. So we'll put an alert there on NASDAQ. I mean on Dow Jones, because that looks pretty good. Okay, it looks pretty good for some longs. Plus we have this insufficiency down here that took out that previous daily low. I really like that insufficiency right there. This is a magic blue box. Yep. This one right here that took out this previous daily low. Okay. I like both of these right here where they overlap specifically. Yeah. Yeah, I like that overlap, that zone quite a bit. Okay, if you go down to the 15-minute, price action is starting this slight distribution right here up above after we hit that previous weekly low. Okay, and bounced off of it, created this slight distribution. We filled up some imbalance, traded into the last push up before the move down. And now price action is distributing very slightly since the opening. I'm just gonna stay out until 10 a.m. There's another 15 minutes before news hit, and this one again, it's PMI. Sometimes it has a big reaction, sometimes it doesn't. It's just really gonna be more dependent on what price action's doing. Let's see. Going back to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is at that high. Divergence there. Slight bearish divergence on the 15-minute. Very slight. S&P as well took out that high, previous high. Dow didn't take out that high. We respected that area. NASDAQ did take out that high. NASDAQ at 50% of this daily range. Ideally, I'd want to short towards these equal lows down here. We obviously don't have to get that today, but those equal lows are looking pretty good. NASDAQ kind of just chilling at 50%. We'll go take a look at EU. Okay, we'll take a look at EU today. The price action ended up longing. Wow. DXY is kind of just pulling away from that area. We're looking for shorts overall on DXY here out of this zone. So maybe we'll get some nice long opportunities. But hey, we're still bullish. We don't need internal liquidity, and we can definitely launch higher. But for me, I want to see internal liquidity before I aim for those highs. So I'm personally going to just say distribution from this 4-hour zone right here. Okay. I'm looking for distribution out of that area. So in essence, I would be looking for some accumulation here on EU. But let's look at what EU is doing. And you can kind of see why. I mean, on EU, we taken out all this major liquidity. Not saying that this is going to turn on this whole thing around, but in terms of the weekly or daily range, it's right here. We have not made it even to 50% of this range. Looking at this 4-hour breaker, we'll see what it ends up doing down there at the 4-hour breaker. Yeah, not even at 50%, and it's already kind of distributing pretty hard. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this shorts. I know it's gonna go into this area, but just because I am anticipating, not because I know, but because I am anticipating longs out of this area, doesn't necessarily mean that because price is higher than my area, I'm gonna sell it down into my area, right? Because that would really just put me in a lower probability scenario overall. Is trying to short into an area, because if I'm long overall for today, then the longs, that means I've already predetermined that the longs are the most probable thing that will play out today. And so if I take anything against that, it's going to obviously put me on the lower end of probabilities. Yeah, price action still pretty bullish. Maybe we get back into this imbalance here too. We'll see what happens in these two areas. I like them both. Put an alert there on EU. I want to see what happens there. News in about 10 minutes. 10 more minutes for the news event. Dow may get this distribution on the 1 hour, and at that point I'd just be looking lower. I'd just be looking for shorts. Took EU on a 15-minute breaker. I mean, as long as you're following your plan. If that's part of your plan, then take it. By all means, take it. Yeah, I want to see DXY get back into that imbalance up there. No trades for me so far. Dow is getting into our area. Another 9 minutes. Dow shorts look really good. They were the cleanest to me in my eyes at the open, if anybody did take advantage of that. The only thing with Dow is that there's no liquidity here. You know, like this low could definitely just be the liquidity. You know what I mean? If you look at this whole 4-hour range, yeah, we already took previous daily low, but there's no liquidity in this range. So it kind of makes me think that we're going to fall right through this range. So I'm going to keep an eye on it for potential evidence of accumulation, but I wouldn't just blankly take it like that. Alright guys, you guys may be experiencing some errors or some poor streaming here in a second, a little bit of lag. At least that's what it's showing on my end. I don't know why, but it just says that I have Yeah, it just says that it's going to be buffering for a little bit. It is receiving some streaming errors, but would you guys mind dropping some sevens in the chat? Drop some sevens in the chat if you guys can hear me okay, if you guys can see the screen okay. Yeah, just saying that I have some streaming issues. It's not smooth. Drop some sevens in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Oh, okay. It looks like the stream is just coming in like 30 seconds later. So just be aware that there's quite a bit of a lag that I'm seeing on my end. There's quite a bit. I'm seeing like at least a 10 to 30-second lag. Okay, so be aware of that, guys. All right, so as long as you guys can hear me loud and clear, perfect. All right, perfect. Okay, so I'm just looking for intraday liquidity on Dow. So this low, this 9 a.m. low could be my intraday liquidity, that liquidity that I was looking for the longs. It does look like a possibility right there. So I'm going to mark that out. I did get a really good question by Koji. No, not Koji. K. K is asking, brother, can you let me know why you mark up those insufficiencies at the other side? So I'm guessing you're speaking on why I marked out that imbalance right there. Okay, the main reason why I mark out imbalances is if when they do something. Okay, I know imbalances and order blocks that either swept liquidity, broke structure, or for example, this imbalance right here, I call these manipulation imbalances. And the reason that I call them manipulation imbalances is because they tend to sweep liquidity. So you can see right here, we swept that previous daily low, but it was this imbalance that was created to push down and sweep that previous daily low. So that imbalance, in essence, if you drag it to the right, just because price filled or traded through an imbalance does not, and write this down, just because price filled an imbalance does not make it balanced price. Okay, it does not make it balanced price. As you guys can see, we're still coming down into that imbalance, and look at the way we're rejecting towards the upside. Okay, look at the way that we rejected towards the upside out of this insufficiency on the left hand side. That is no coincidence. Okay, as soon as we tapped not that imbalance in the front, right? It wasn't that imbalance in the front because we went deeper. We went right down to the opening or the high end of that bearish insufficiency manipulation imbalance and push to the upside. So that's why I mark out these areas. That is a really good question, brother. Really good question. Thank you for asking that. Nasdaq, I'm not really seeing much on Nasdaq, honestly. Not right now. Yeah, as of right now, I'm not really seeing anything much on Nas. I mean, I could see us going more longs. I could just see more longs out of Nas, but in terms of where, it's pretty far from price. So I would just say I want to see what happens 50% and above on Nasdaq. Dow Jones is pushing back down into that area. You got 2.5 minutes before news. 2.5 minutes before this red folder PMI services come out. Give me 1 second. Just 2 more minutes. It's just hard to call out longs. It's very difficult knowing that we're so bearish. But in terms of areas that we're coming out of, I mean, it just makes sense to go long. I think today could be a liquidity build-up day. So I'm gonna look for my 1 to 3, if that, and then I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna look for my 1 to 3 and then probably stay out. I do want to see longs across the board. But will they take place the way that I want them to? That's probably the tough one. I just don't see them coming all the way down here. Like S&P, I see it taking out its previous hourly lows right here. And then, you know, probably a continuation from here. Yeah, from this previous area of accumulation. There's this balanced price range right here. Maybe we get back down there. But in terms of a breaker, I don't see us going back down to the breaker. There's my, I believe, EU. There it is, taking out any early buyers. It just took out any early buyers. Nasdaq, Dow. Let's see how Dow closed. Dow closed bearish on the 1 hour. Dow closed bearish on the 1 hour. Right? We have a bearish breaker that we're mitigating out of right now. I'm not liking Dow longs. I'm only liking Dow shorts at this point. I'm not liking the longs at all anymore. Just, yeah. Dow breaking this to the downside, I would need it. Yeah. Nah, I can see Dow just going right through this area, guys, to be honest with you. I think in terms of looking at longs, you got to look at this whole range. Look at this entire range. There's no liquidity 50% or below. So you got to think in terms of liquidity, like where are we going? Yeah, I'm not seeing that the longs anymore. At least not for Dow. Dow, I'm straight shorts to the lows. Nasdaq still doesn't look like it's ready to do that, but 50% and above. Look, Nasdaq created that 50% and above liquidity. So Nasdaq could essentially just left this liquidity for tomorrow or for NFP on Friday. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna assume that this is the high of the day, and I'm going to look for shorts. In terms of across the board, what I'm looking for, it is shorts. Okay? Shorts across the board. Shorts across the board. We took out this high. Yep. Mitigation candle. From this mitigation candle, I'm looking at that blue shaded box down there and this low right here. Okay, there are my targets. Yeah, I just don't see price action holding out these bulls. Down, nice reaction on the bearish breaker. I honestly wish I would have seen that a little bit earlier. No imbalances other than the breaker. The only imbalance was the inside that breaker. I guess it would have been a clean entry either way. I'm kind of understanding why Fibs and Profit uses sell stops so much on indices when shorts. They short. They don't. Oh yeah, I get it. I'm not. They don't just say, "Hey, come with me." They just drop. Yeah, no, they. I see why he uses sell stops. I mean, they've been just dropping for quite a bit, so maybe the reason I'm a huge person for longs is because of indices. I don't know. I just see longs a lot cleaner, but right now I'm just seeing shorts across the board. Ideally, I would want Nasdaq to break first. You know, break lower than this imbalance here, and then use a mitigation out of that imbalance to move lower. We'll see if we get that. Dow came 50% and below. It's in our breaker, okay? It's in our breaker. Here, even though you are long, I mean, you are short, you can say that if you get evidence here, we can see some longs. If we get evidence, and only if you get some really clean evidence that we're going to go higher. If not, this thing's just going to continue shorting, and it would make no sense to try to long it. Look at Nasdaq using that imbalance prematurely. S&P also coming into that 4-hour breaker. Not sure if I did that right. 1 second. There it is. Came into like the high, very high of that. Tapped it. I need some evidence. If we're going to see those longs, I need some evidence. And they would be from these breakers. I agree. If we get longs, it's out of these breakers. But let's go look at DXY. We are in a previous area of distribution. It just doesn't say short me. You know what I mean? And the shorts here would confirm shorts, I mean longs here, but it doesn't. Not yet, at least. Excuse me. Oh, fuck. NGN USD. Okay, I will check that after this next 15-minute candle closes. After this next 15-minute candle closes, I will definitely check that. This is that breaker, an imbalance inside that breaker. Nice little target or area to take profit. But as I mentioned, I'm pretty bearish. Dow. We're looking at Dow. Yeah, getting a pullback into that imbalance, I will be shorting NASDAQ. Getting a pullback into that imbalance, I'll be shorting NASDAQ. What do I advise? Well, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't advise you with anything. I'm literally, you guys got to look at it this way. It's like, I can't give you financial advice or trade advice, but you guys can look at what I'm doing, and that's really it. That's really what these calls are for, right? It's, I'm doing what I do every single morning, except I do it publicly. And then you either learn from it or don't, you know? Everyone's different. But in terms of technically alone or technically fundamentals, yeah, let me just look at the asset first before I say anything. I haven't even looked at the asset. But in terms of indices, like I said, I'm looking at these shorts. They look attractive. Dow is really deep in there. Look at Dow on a 4-hour. Okay, look at Dow on a 4-hour. There's an imbalance right below here on S&P, right below this breaker. Maybe we trade back down there. It's an imbalance here on S&P. The VPR. Now you got me. See, you guys with these terms, I don't even know what BPR is. We'll see what happens in these areas. These are the breakers. We're on the breaker across the board, except for NASDAQ. But we're on the breaker across the board. Okay, so this is like the moment of truth, you could say, that you got to be patient for. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, balanced price range. That's what BPR stands for. That's so funny, dude. I used to work in a warehouse and we used to call this one room BPR. So that's the first thing that came to mind. I would have never thought balanced price range ever. I just, yeah, no, I'm not that good with that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, balanced price range. That makes sense. I just thought immediately, like, you just threw me back to my fucking 9 to 5 from like 2, 3 years ago. It brought back so many memories. I was like, BPR, does this guy know me? This guy know me in person? All right. Let's see these accumulations. Nasdaq accumulation. All right. We're going to use that 15-minute or 5-minute. We'll see. Looks like those breakers are getting a reaction. Looks like those breakers are getting a reaction. All of them are. Dow, Nas. Dow's getting a reaction out of this area too, which I really liked. I'll show you guys here. I think it was on the 5-minute. This one, this imbalance here in that breaker. The breaker has an imbalance. That imbalance is the one that we're trading into, and I thought that was really good. I think ICT calls those the Reaper. Something like that. He has too many names. No imbalance, no entry. If Dow leaves an imbalance here with this breaker, yep, I like that. Long opportunity there, but I'm not gonna take it personally. Yeah, I'm not taking that. $15 respecting here, respecting that imbalance as well. So I'm gonna go to the 5-minute, and we're gonna look for this long an opportunity. On Nasdaq. Balance here. I do like Nas longs. I'm gonna take one. One second. Let me see where we're at on the XY. We're pumping on the XY still. Look how hard we're pumping, bro. For me to take a long, I'd just be. So something that I did was reflect on my. For those of you who don't know, I journal heavily. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys real quick, a quick glance. But I journal heavily every day, and out of my journal, right, one of the main things that I've noticed was that when I do get clapped, it's against the DXY. When I do get clapped, it's against my whole DXY bias. Now, this is the area in which I wanted to see distribution on DXY. So, we shall see if we get that. If not, I mean, look at this fucking 4-hour. Look how bullish that candle is. Okay, we've already achieved that 4-hour imbalance that I was mentioning shorts from. We will see what happens in here. Balanced price range is when there's two fair value gaps overlapping. I have to disagree because that's not always the case. That's not always the case. Because I could have two imbalances overlapping, like right here, and that doesn't make it a balanced price range. This is a balanced price range. The description is, yeah, but it doesn't fit entirely. The balanced price range is a 3-candle play. It's two imbalances separated by 1 candle. or united by one candle. That's a balanced price range, to my understanding. Because then the description, two imbalances overlapping, these two overlap, and I mean, that's not a balanced price range. Bro, do you have a video on how you do journal? Yes, I do. It's on the ABCs playlist. The ABCs are Smart Money Concepts playlist on my YouTube channel. I go through that, and there's one there that's in big ass letters that says journaling on Notion. So you guys can go check that up video out. Will we get these shorts? All right, we're gonna go to that one that I got asked, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because it's Nigerian Naira, and who the hell asked for this, bro? Whoever asked for this got jokes. You're having a fucking laugh right now, I bet. Yeah. Oh, Solomon, not in an asset, but in general. Yeah, bro, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna be honest. I will tell you guys straight up when I'm like pretty certain about things. I will tell you guys when I'm very unclear about things. It's like not my niche or my forte. And I can definitely tell you financial advice is not my forte. I've wanted to be a financial advisor. I've wanted to go to school for that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was one of my goals, is to go to school for accounting and financial, to become a financial advisor. So that way, you know, like going to the on a trading floor, that'd be sick. That's probably one of my dreams, and it still is. So I will make that happen. I don't know if New York, but maybe we create our own trading floor somewhere better than your classic ones that you know now. Not taking any of these guys. I'm just marking shit out. Not taking anything. We're respecting 5-minute imbalance right now. Respecting bearishness across the board. Yeah, I would like some shorts. I'm still looking at shorts. NASDAQ might take a minute. We'll see. Just be patient. Any reason why one chart is dumping in one direction? Because you're looking at something against the dollar, and again, and unless there's value behind it. For example, this is EU. This is the euro versus the dollar. So you can see that the strength of the dollar is way bigger. You can see, look at this. The US dollar is secondary. That means if the US dollar is stronger, this is going to go down. Look at how DXY has been. US dollar has been steadily climbing up. Steadily climbing up. So everything that is secondary to USD, whatever it may be, X, Y, Z, it doesn't matter what fits in here. Anything that has USD secondary, unless it's hella strong, it's gonna be going downwards and it's gonna be dumping, just like it is on EU. It's because you're looking at a very weak asset against the US dollar. And because that asset's very weak against in comparison to the dollar, it's very one-sided. Yeah, no problem, man. I would just stick with assets. Like do stick with US assets, right? Like that's a really good idea, but I would stick with the majors. If you guys have ever had like troubles understanding your charts, have had, let's say, struggles reaching profitability, one really big thing that helped me in my trading is going back to the majors. A lot of people take that for granted. You know, they want to get to like Nasdaq, they want to get to Dow Jones, they want to get to gold, they want to get to all these very fucking volatile assets without realizing that honestly the this is looking pretty clean. I'm liking this a lot. Without realizing that the majors is all you need. The major assets is all you need. Come on, give me my imbalance or something. Getting back into this 1 minute imbalance, I will be shorting it with my stop loss above this blue shaded box. Yeah, that 5 minute was it right there. I see you got some jokes, bro. Got some jokes. Colombian, I'm guessing that's Colombian peso. You know what? I send money to my mother-in-law every month, and she lives in Medellin, Colombia. Yeah, I send her money. And she makes, I mean, we send her a couple $100 every month, and she is living well. That's all I can say. She lives really well off those few $100s that we send her monthly. And plus, she has her little lash business out there that we help her start. Um, and so like the lashes, her own business plus like the conversion is always so nice for her. I also have a student. He's probably not on here. I haven't seen him in a while. He kind of fell off the face of the planet after he lost his account. But I have a friend in Colombia. Yeah, he's in Medellin as well, and he was funded with 250,000. And he was making, I mean, he was telling me that his salary was, he was making as much as a doctor. Unfortunately, he did lose the account, and I haven't seen him since. I hope he's okay. But yeah, I live in Medellin too. That's badass. Yeah, that's where my mother-in-law lives. So my in-law lives. When am I coming to Medellin? You know what? I won't be out of the country for a while. Just for personal reasons, I'm unable to leave the country for a bit. All right, I like Nas shorts from this area. It's coming to our area. I'm gonna short it from that imbalance with, like I mentioned, my stop loss above the blue shaded box. If it stops me out from here, it does stop me out, and it is what it is. Gonna put my stop loss right here, just a little bit over that last OB. And hey, it could end up blasting through. And DXY could end up dumping from here, but I just don't see DXY reversing yet. It's almost the top of the hour, or getting to more than halfway through. You know, we may create some 4-hour imbalance here and then just reject, but so far that was the objective, to reject from, and that's not happening at all. So I'm short on indices. Short on indices. And if you look at this 4-hour range, look at the 4-hour range. Okay, this 4-hour bullish range. If you look at it, there's no liquidity in front. All right, there's some imbalance down here, which is where I'm gonna take partials. Is down here, 50% and below. But that's it. I'm gonna take partials there, and then I'm gonna close the entirety of my trade at the lows. What is in my blue shaded box? Oh wait, hold on. Háblame paisano. Let's go. Another Colombian. Nice, good stuff. I'm from San Andreas. When are you coming to Medellin? I already answered that. I will give you a personalized tour. Bet, bro. Bet. I don't know, bro. Medellin sounds like trouble for me. Fuck. Medellin sounds like trouble. Cause not to like let the past hold me back or anything, but I do have I did have a partner in Medellin as well. I did it a Colombian, and she was from Medellin. She was really cool. I can honestly tell you, I'm from Chile. I've gone to Argentina, Chile. I've been to Peru. I've lived with Ecuadorians. I lived with a house of a Mexican family as well. I lived with Hondurans before. And the best Spanish I've ever heard was Colombian. Sorry, but... And that's even like in comparison to my country. But the best Spanish I've ever heard was from Colombia. They just have the cleanest Spanish. Whoever asked what my magic blue box was this time, is this 15-minute imbalance. The one that came up, swept that previous high, and created that bearish divergence. Because if you come over here, on Dow, there it is. There's Nasdaq, Dow. Okay. Oh, whoa. What is that? Yeah, Nasdaq, Dow, real quick. What is DXY doing? Hold on. No, I'm not worried about it. Okay. This high right here was right there. And this high right here was right there. So we'll see if that divergence holds out. That's why I marked out that imbalance, is because of that divergence right there. You know, we could take out my area. It's very probable that we just get back and respect that imbalance overall. That imbalance on the left. I'm not adding on to my trade. I do believe that we can blast through it, grab some more liquidity, and then come back lower. Or maybe we're just building up liquidity for today and I'm part of the liquidity. That could be the case. That's why I did add a little bit lower risk to this trade. For that very same reason. Don't want to go full risk on this one, just because we could be a liquidity buildup day. We are rejecting on DXY finally, creating that slight rejection. And Nasdaq seems to want to take me out. So I'm going to manually close this one, because it's going to blast through that area for sure. The way that it's looking right here. Let's see. What do we do? Just let it let it hit my stop loss by itself, right? I already planned the trade, accept the risk. You could save like 20 bucks, but it's okay. You can save like 20 bucks or make like 2,000. It's up to you. Would you rather save 20 bucks or make 2,000? I think the risk to reward is there. The risk to reward is there. Trust me, guys. Like, I have these aches to want to close my trades manually. I'm like, oh, that shit's gonna blast through. I might as well just close it manually before I lose some more. But there's always that very, very tiny, very slight chance that you're closing a winning trade. There's always that very, very slight chance that you trying to save $20, $40 is gonna cost you $2,000, $3,000. There's always that very, very slight chance. And I may be completely wrong on that being one of these chances, but my rules are like this, you know what I mean? And so my rules have made me a substantial amount of income, and so I'm going to stick to my rules always. Always, always, always follow my plan all the way through. Are we getting these fucking longs? Are we? Because that'd be surprising. I know you said not planning to travel outside of the US right now, but can we discuss it on Saturday? I would love to have you around here. I will do my best to convince you. Nah. Nah, not right now. It's not in my future plans at all. Like, at all, to get out of the country right now. I got work to do here. I got work to do here in the United States first, and then I just don't find myself in a position yet that I've hit enough goals to treat myself yet. And then plus, the first place that I want to travel to with my wife is Greece. I've already been to South America, and I love the food. I love the food. But yeah, no, the first place that I'm going to travel to is going to be Greece. Yeah, but it's nowhere near right now, because I'm not planning on leaving the United States anytime soon right now. Like I said, I have goals to hit, and until I hit those goals, I achieve certain level of success, I'm going to stay pretty disciplined. Yeah, but trust me, guys, I've already looked at a lot of spots. We're heading towards Oh, look at that. We're respecting. I'm glad that we waited a lot more. Waited. Nasdaq's blasting through. Five-minute accumulations. I say these are pretty good enough, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm probably gonna wait for the afternoon session again. I'm probably gonna wait for the afternoon session again. It starts like at 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. Because this morning has been straight fucking liquidity buildup. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Back and forth on Dow Jones and S&P. Straight liquidity buildup day. And yeah, like one of my goals before I travel anywhere is hitting $500,000 in funded equity. Having $500,000 in funded equity. That's one of my goals. Once that, then, obviously after that, it's $1 million in funded equity, and then 2 million above that. And that's probably why I wanted to cap it, was around 2 million. At least that's where I wrote in my journal. I think I wanted to cap it at 2 million. Can I repeat the hours of the afternoon session? Yeah, the afternoon session is between 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Why did I stop trading currencies and choose futures? That's a really good question. Because I can trade directly off TradingView, one. Two, the biggest traders in the world trade the futures market. The biggest traders in the world trade the futures market. And lastly, my mentor teaches and trades the futures market. And I could see why. Now, why? I think a better question would be, or a better answer would be, why did I stay with futures and didn't go back to margin? One of the reasons why I stayed with futures and didn't go back to margin was because the data feed is, I personally haven't dealt with any data feed issues, meaning that, you know, manipulations or anything like that, like these are legit manipulations. My stop loss is not getting fucking hit by spread. My, you know, trades aren't getting manipulated or delayed. I just haven't suffered or anything like that. You know, I'm trading directly off the same asset that I'm marking up as well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm marking up this asset and I'm also trading it directly on the same markups that I already done. So accuracy. And yeah, brother, always on Eastern. No slipping people to hell. Yep, exactly, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so I will tell you this, the prop firms in the futures markets are so much more competitive. Like, they're Zay's taking a top step challenge, and they are a futures market prop firm. And there are prop firms for the futures markets. They are not the most attractive plans in comparison to margin. I think the futures prop firm industry needs so much more competition, man. They really do. Like, they don't have enough competition, so they have these fucking absurd rules. Absurd. I'm telling you, like, some fuckery. And so it's due to the fact, to the lack of, it's due to their lack of competition. You know, FTMO was super strict up until MyForex Funds came about, until all these other prop firms come about. And then once all these other prop firms came about, you know, they were not so strict anymore. Nice little long out of that area. Nasdaq took the liquidity to the upside. Nasdaq's the only one so far that's taking that upside liquidity. The only one so far that's taking that upside liquidity. S&P ended up respecting that breaker. Cool, the one time I fucking choose shorts. Just fucking with y'all. Nah, this is cool. We'll find that. Let's go to the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks fucking bullish. The 4 hour looks too. Fabio, let me ask you this. For today or for the week? Do you believe we're going to short for today or for the week? Yeah, I still believe in the shorts too, by the way, but we'll see. We shall see. Oh, for today. Nice. If we distribute here, I'm gonna take that as divergence, and I'm gonna short Nasdaq. Yeah, if we distribute up here on Nasdaq, I'm gonna short it. Shit. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm yawning so much. Alright, so let's go to indices. Why am I shorting it? Let's all be in 1 minute. No. Let's go to the 5 minute. Okay, Nasdaq. Let's just look at this high, this low. I mean, this high right here and that high right there, upwards. This high right here, downwards, and then Dow. Wherever the fuck Dow's at. Same thing. These are shorting hard. Short them to hell. Just kidding. Fuck. My Forex fund is pretty soon. Probably a joke a little too soon for some of you, but there it is. All right. There it is, that divergence, that sister liquidity that I mentioned yesterday. Bro, my fucking dogs have issues, bro. Oh my gosh. They've been barking so much lately. They do not like being outside. Jesus. Turtle soup cell. Turtle soup cell. Who caught that turtle? Who caught that turtle? Oh man, I've been wanting to take these turtle soup cells and shorts or longs because I see them everywhere now. Like the long over here, the turtle soup long over here was right here. Now, so I see them everywhere now, and it goes from one point of liquidity to the other. And so I'm pretty fucking certain we're gonna smack this low right here, and we're gonna make it back to this insufficiency down here. So I'm still short. Yeah, I'm glad Fabio, you and I were looking at the same thing, bro. Yeah, I wasn't feeling too confident on those longs. I was like, why is it longing from those breakers? It's like, why are you doing that? Nice. Personally in EU shorts, bro, and you didn't say anything? Jesus fucking Christ. This guy. Wow, we went right into that 1 hour breaker. So this is the 1 hour. Look at the 15 minute. Look at how the 15 minute comes back to that 1 hour breaker, and it's just shorting off of it. Beautiful. Will it be, is it over? I'm not sure. Give me 1 second though, guys. I'm gonna say bye to my wife real quick. I still get really sad every time my wife leaves. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm just like, damn, why are you leaving? It really encourages me to retire her that much faster, though. For reals, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, every time she goes to work, it's like a, it's not shitting on me, right? But it's a motivation for me to push myself to work harder because the people that I love are still not enjoying life to the same level of freedom. You know what I mean? And it's really hard to see my mom going to work every day because I don't see her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see them at all. And I'm a huge morning person, so you know, they're working in the morning, so I don't get to really talk to them or call them or anything like that. And then when I do see them, it's for like a family event, something like that. But they work their asses off. My parents work their asses off. My wife, luckily, when I met her, she was doing 40, 50 hours of work. And right now, we've been able to cut her back to only 28 hours a week. So she works 3 days a week for 28 hours overall weekly. And so, you know, that's a blessing. That's something that, you know, at first she left Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays too, and I wouldn't see her 6 days out of the week. It would fucking suck. You know, now I get to see her 4 days out of the week and spend time with her. And that's a blessing. That's all because of trading. You know what I mean? That's all been possible because of trading. And the goal is to get my parents on that as well, get them to in a way where they don't have to work overtime anymore. Where they don't have to push themselves that much anymore. That's the goal. Nasdaq shorts. Yeah, I still agree with the Nasdaq shorts. Anyways, it's a blessing. It really is a blessing to be able to help those people, the people around me. You know, the goal is, so again, since we're already on those topics, one of the reasons I'm not traveling outside of the United States yet is because I don't know if you guys know this, but the housing, for those of you outside of the United States, you may not know this, but the housing market in the United States, it's really fucking competitive. You know what I mean? And my parents got a home in this really competitive market, high interest rates, overpriced, overvalued home. You know, they didn't know about taxes, having to deal with taxes, you know, paying the taxes on the property. They didn't know a lot of stuff, you know, buying their first home so late in their life. I guess so much later in their life in comparison to other people that have lived in the United States their whole lives. And just seeing them work their ass off. I mean, my dad works. I see him. I rarely see him. You know what I mean? I like rarely see them. When I do go see them, they're tired. So it's just like I can't just hit up my mom after this session's over, and it bugs me. I can't just hit her up and be like, "Hey mom, like let's go grab some breakfast." And that hurts me. It hurts me that I'm able to do that and not the people that I love. It in a way it's just like motivation for me to push myself to be better, because I want to be able to hit up anyone in my circle and be like, "Hey, let's go grab some breakfast." On whatever day, whatever time. You know what I mean? I want to be able to hit up my homie and just be like, "Hey, bro, let's go have a drink." And it doesn't matter if it's Tuesday night, Wednesday night, but most of my homies, they hit me up with, "Hey, I got work tomorrow really early in the AM." You know what I mean? I have a homie that I play video games with, and we can't stay up late because again, he works. And so those are the type of things I'm just like, that motivates me, because honestly, freedom's cool and all, but sharing freedom with others, that's fucking lit, bro. Freedom is cool. Everyone says, "Oh, I'd be going to the gym if I had that much time. I'd be reading this many books, I'd be studying this many hours, and I'd be doing this much if I had that much time." And then when you get all that time, it's like, damn. Not that doing it alone sucks or anything, but it's much funner when you enjoy it with others. It's much more fun to enjoy everything with others. But going back to the trading floor idea, that's the goal. Inner Wealth will open, mark this call. Okay, mark this call. What are we? October 4th, 2023. We will have our own trading floor one day here in the United States. And hopefully, not hopefully, but we will also expand to South America and Europe. And I'm going to expand different trading floors where we can actually have people come trade with us live, not just over the Zoom, but in a classroom setting where you guys can actually learn hands on in simulated, funded assets. Just like these fucking prop firms. These prop firms have simulated accounts. Yeah, for sure, for sure. This imbalance on Dow really gets my attention. Yeah, this imbalance on the 5 minute on Nasdaq gets my attention as well. I don't think we're gonna get back to that breaker. I highly doubt it. It's way too high up there. Same across the board on S&P. Still got the lows to hit. The hourly candle is about to turn right now here in like less than 2 minutes. Um, yeah, I'm looking at these shorts right here out of this imbalance. Honestly, I might just stay off the charts for the rest of the time. We'll see what happens after 11, but after 11, I'm gonna call it. Yep, after this, I'm gonna call it. I'm just like waiting for that pullback in there. Okay, boys, Inner Wealth, thanks for the live stream. God bless. God bless you, bro. Thank you for being on here. We appreciate you and your time and energy. It means the world. It's really cool to vibe with you guys, as always. Yeah, guys, I mean, we didn't get any pullback yet, but I'm looking for shorts out of these imbalances to the initial lows of the day. Okay? To take out the entirety of that 4-hour range across the board. Okay, I'm looking for shorts to take out the entirety of this range. Okay, so out of that 5-minute imbalance across the board. I may not be here, or I won't be here, but I won't be here for the whole rest of the session to take that trade with you guys, but I am looking to take that short. Very minor risk, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. On Nasdaq, to this imbalance, Nasdaq's the only one that I just don't see it going all the way through, but I do see us going to this imbalance on Nasdaq. So the low on EU, on not EU, but on Dow and S&P, looking for the low. On Nasdaq, looking for that insufficiency right here, that 4-hour or 1-hour insufficiency. DXY is still seeking more upside. It doesn't look like it's done yet. EU, I mean, areas are being respected, but I'm not taking any shorts or anything like this, so I'm gonna leave it. The main move was during London, so that is what it is in terms of EU. I'm gonna leave it at it as is because it looks like it's accumulating out of that 1-hour imbalance. So me personally, I'm leaving EU as is. Okay, and it's getting at, it came down to our 4-hour breaker. It could really just start climbing up higher quite a bit. So I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave these guys. We'll see what ends up happening. If the XY ends up shorting from that area, that'd be really interesting. The 4-hour has already closed. A new 4-hour candle has opened. We created an imbalance up there. That's a really good confirmation that we may just continue shorting. Okay. And if we end up shorting, these guys are going to end up longing, and I'm just going to stay the hell out. All right. So if there's no evidence, there's no entry, and then we'll watch these longs kind of go finally and do their thing. All right. So with that, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Appreciate you guys. I'll definitely keep you up with you guys. Yeah, because these things look like they're going to long, but we'll see. It's barely the start of the hour. We came into that imbalance on NASDAQ. You know what? I'm going to follow my plan. If we get a distribution here on the 1 minute, I am going to short. But if not, you know, we are accumulating out of a previous area of accumulation, and we could definitely long. Okay? So don't be surprised. Wait for your evidence. If not, you guys already know all of this liquidity up here still resting up above Dow. Look at those equal highs on Dow. So there's liquidity and targeting really good objectives on both sides. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for these areas to either play out or to be dismissed. But yeah. 10 a.m. This is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. took out 9 a.m.'s low. These lows right here are all intact. NASDAQ intact. Dow not intact. I'd say this on NASDAQ looks pretty good too. Yeah. Yep, there's those shorts that I was mentioning on DXY. Okay, so there's that short that I was mentioning on DXY. It's playing out now. Too much back and forth today. So, way too much liquidity buildup. Look how many bad trades we avoided. Yeah, this isn't... If it longs, I just don't want to be a part of it. Yeah, that imbalance filled out all the way. You don't want to see... When you're bearish, you don't want to see these imbalances filled out all the way. That just kind of diminishes the whole bearishness. So if I'm bearish, I'd ideally want to see this imbalance get tapped and left unfilled. You know, up until we hit another level of liquidity. But this shows me that we're just going to continue pushing upwards. And honestly, I don't... Yeah, it's going to... DXY is going to do exactly what I anticipated it to do at the beginning of the session about 2 hours ago. We already took out previous hourly. Honestly, yeah. Just gonna see it keep longing. Not the most attractive longs. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna try to push these. Yeah. I'm not gonna try to push these. I definitely know when there's just a liquidity buildup. You can just tell. And sometimes you'll get clapped like throughout those, and it's fine. Just don't get trapped. It's cool if you get clapped. It's not cool if you trap yourself in these type of scenarios. See, like Nasdaq, if Nasdaq were to leave this imbalance like that, that's what I'd like to see. That's what I'd like to see. But nah, that's not happening anywhere here. Maybe you can utilize, if for anybody that's going to continue trading today, you can utilize these as support. It's still an hour before lunch hour, so you still got time. If you haven't blown your fucking risk already for the day, yeah, I mean, these longs out of these insufficiencies look pretty good. Yeah, hopefully you haven't, and no one's blown their fucking parameters so far. It was a very back and forth session in terms of liquidity and price action. You can see the way that we just came back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Yeah, and if we were too long, I just don't see anything in terms of like entry wise. Nasdaq down here, it'd be the only place where I'd like to long Nasdaq. Dow out of this blue shaded area, back into this that same orange line, which is a previous weekly low, like hella over here somewhere. So back to that same area. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That 4 hours holding out. So, yeah. Anybody that is going to trade, though, I just say, I'm going to tell you this right now. Please catch your 1, 2, 3 and get the hell out. Catch your bag and get out. Okay? That's all I can recommend. Catch your bag and stay out. You guys are probably waiting for me to call it quits. It's just like every time I end the session, a fucking trade comes up. And I'm like, oh, this would have been fucking nice 10 minutes ago. Every time. Yesterday, like 2 minutes after I ended the session, I caught the long. Or I caught the short. You know? So I'm just like, do I want to end it right now? Do I not? I'm just like, dude, everything's looking like it's setting up a little bit later on in the session this week. So that doesn't make it a bad trade per se. Yeah, so maybe a little bit longer session than you guys are used to. All good though. $15-minute imbalance on S&P. We made it back to that breaker on Nasdaq. We're dumping on DXY. Yeah, if we get back in here on Nasdaq, I'll go long. That's probably it. That's the only one that, and if we get back into this blue shaded box on Dow, I'll go long. S&P, I blue shaded box down here. But we gotta close up there. We gotta close above them first. Like Dow, how Dow is closed above it, or almost closed above it in less than 1 minute. Nasdaq definitely closed above it. Nasdaq kind of reacting out of that breaker. How much further down will we go on that breaker though? Probably down to here. Let me line it up. Let's see how many standard deviations we can go. Take a very small trade on Nasdaq. Hold on, my eye fucking itches. Okay. Very small trade on Nasdaq. Took it a little bit too late, but very, very small trade on Nasdaq. If this one stops me out, it is what it is. So confirmations, this imbalance here. Okay. And that imbalance on the left. Which is way too big for me to mark up, so I'm not gonna mark it up. There's a lot of lines on my chart. Give me a second. Let me just double check. Okay, liquidity, cool. 50% and above of this 4-hour range, cool. And the target for today on Nasdaq was that blue shaded box. That's still my target now. I wish I would have been able to put a little bit more volume behind that trade just so I could take partials at this first high. But the 1 to 3 is going to be just a little bit higher than that. We're gonna take it to a 14,860 flat. Dow didn't come back to the blue shaded area, unfortunately. S&P did come back to that blue shaded box and went long inside an imbalance as well. So S&P did exactly what we wanted it to. Give a nice opportunity here at the blue shaded area. Stop loss below the low. Target the high. Nice 1 to 3. Yeah, whoever called it an early session, I'm sorry. I wanted to too, but it just didn't feel right. Man. S&P was the best one, to be honest. In terms of the long position, S&P was the cleanest one. Which one am I seeing here? The 5 minute? We should be able to see this 5 minute imbalance here. Where was that 5 minute imbalance? There it is, that bullish one right there. I'm gonna go break even. From here on out, I really don't care what happens. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the session, let me show you something. Those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the session, this is the same imbalance we marked out yesterday. Where is it? Did I put it over here? Oh, there it is. I put it on the wrong side. One sec. Oh, no, I didn't. Here is what we marked up for the 4 hour. Or for the hourly, I think. Yeah, no, for the 4 hour. For the 4 hour, this was our markup at the beginning of the session. Oh, couldn't paste. Copy image. Paste. Why can't you paste it? It's too large. That sucks ass. It's okay. Here's what we thought was gonna happen. Some shorts out of that imbalance. Right? Shorts out of that imbalance. And then one sec. We're getting some shorts out of that imbalance. So the beginning of the session is important. I know that not everyone likes to tune into the beginning of the sessions because they're kind of boring markups. And I really don't do much trading until like past 10 a.m. But they're important. Okay. But alright, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to leave this there as is. And we're going to call it a session. Good stuff, everyone. Catch your 1 to 3s and run. Okay? Or if you are in a trade, go break even and run. Run. Because, hey, you know, it's liquidity build-up day. It's liquidity build-up day. Don't be surprised if we just end up reversing and dumping. Okay? Don't be surprised if we end up reversing and dumping. It is what it is, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as is. It is what it is. So we'll call it good for today. I will see you guys Friday. Remember, Thursdays we don't have a session. No sessions on Thursdays. Catch me on Twitter. I will still be live on Twitter. I will still be showing you guys stuff on Twitter and sending out stuff. So make sure you're following me on Twitter. My handle's right down here. Right down here somewhere. Okay, that way you guys can follow me. If you want to see what happens with the ending of this trade, follow me on Twitter. You guys will see. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot for my journal purposes for the before, and then we'll see what happens after. Honestly, there's my screenshot. Boom, just took it. I'm gonna save it for my journal. I hope you guys are journaling as well. Make sure that you don't fumble the bag. Make sure that you trust yourself. Believe in you beyond this setup. Okay, you gotta believe in yourself more than you believe in this setup alone. All right, guys. Talk to you guys. Not We'll talk to you guys on Twitter tomorrow, and then I'll see you guys on Friday for our last session of the week. All right, guys. Be safe. Take care. Clap easy. Trade responsibly. Don't overtrade anymore. We already took 2 trades today. That's more than enough. It's more than enough today. And yeah, guys, talk to you guys soon, okay? Peace. All right, guys. That trade hit take profit just barely. I guess it didn't on the little Jolly Rancher, but it just hit take profit 160 flat. Yep, right there. Boom, we just hit take profit, guys. I know some of you are still here, so I'm gonna say this to the ones that are still here. Lesson for today: you guys saw that fat ass retracement. That retracement almost hit me out. I could have either saved myself like $40-50 or held on to my trade, trusted myself, and made a couple $1,000s. So is $40-50 stopping you from profitability? You got to ask yourself that. Are $40-50 about to cost me a couple thousand? Yes. If you're trying to save money while trading, this isn't the skill set for you. This is a skill set where you trust yourself, where you hold on to your trades. If I wouldn't have held on to that trade, I would have had a losing day. And so I'm not going to let a small ass retracement that's probably going to cost me $20-40 because I'm already at break even. I'm not going to let that risk cost me a couple $1,000s at the end of the day. So I hope you guys learned something from today's lesson. I hope you guys press that like button on the video. I love you guys. Trade responsibly. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.